Hi, everybody. So, Monday we talked about the fact that readers question and predict. Remember, a prediction is like a guess. And we also learned about that word inference. So, a guess is also making an inference or to infer something. And that's what a prediction is too, basically making a guess or an inference. So, we had a little song that we learned yesterday to help us remember what we need to do when we want to make predictions. And remember, it goes to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. So, make sure you sing it with me. Are you ready? Read, read, read the text. Question while you go. Predict what will happen next. Read on so you'll know. And remember, what we did when we read on is we confirmed our answer or our prediction. Was our prediction correct, or did we need to adjust it? Maybe our prediction wasn't quite right, so we needed to make an adjustment. So today, boys and girls, we are going to talk about, even before you read the text, what you need to do. And good readers do this all the time. Even adult readers do this. Maybe sometimes your parents are going to put something together, like maybe a piece of furniture. So what they do is they preview everything. That means looking at the finished product before you put it together. So preview means before you even start to gather as much information as you can. And this really helps us to understand what we read. So when we preview, we use the title, we use the pictures, and any information then that we can gather. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this right up here. Right before we read the text, you need to make a preview. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this with this book. This book is called Top Dog. And boys and girls, this can be found on a website called Oxford Owl. And this is free also if your parents wanted to try this out too. So before we read the text, we are going to preview. So I want you to look at the screen. This is a book called Top Dog. And as I am looking at the cover, well, I know the title says something about a dog, and I can even look at the cover and I notice there are several dogs around. They all are on a leash. I noticed that this woman here is holding a little trophy, and it says on there Top Dog. And also I noticed that it says the word judge there. So I'm kind of wondering, I'm kind of wondering. So I'm going to make a guess about what this story might be about. I'm gathering as much information as I can before I start reading it. So I'm thinking maybe there is a dog show, because I know that sometimes dogs are shown at a dog show. And I know they have judges that are there to kind of judge the dogs and maybe see how they walk and check their fur. And so I'm thinking that this story is about maybe a dog show. So boys and girls, I'm gathering as much information as I can. So when I make my prediction, the first thing I'm going to do is read the text. All right, so actually I'll just point you this way so you can kind of look at that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start Top Dog. There we go. Okay, so What I noticed, so as I'm reading, I see, look at all the dogs. So far, I'm correct about maybe this being some kind of a dog show because look at what the sign says. Yeah, dog show. We like this dog. This is a little dog. Oh, and I notice, oh, look at this, what's in his hand. It's third. It says third. It's a third place. This dog isn't looking very happy, but maybe he didn't want to win third place. I don't know. Let's keep reading. We like this dog. This is a big dog. And as I'm looking at his chart, I notice this says second place. So far we've gathered a lot of information for our preview because we thought it would be a dog show. We all like this dog. This is the top dog. So this dog is winning that first place ribbon. Oh, I see some sad faces over here. So I bet they're probably disappointed maybe. We like Floppy best of all. So even though this dog did not win and they were kind of sad at the end, they still like their dog the best of all. So, boys and girls, as we were reading, remember, we were using Mrs. Holman was using her reading voice, and then we were using our thinking voice to make our predictions. So before you read any story, you want to preview the book, and then we want to start our reading. Okay, so what I would like you to do now is I'm going to put up another story here. And this story is called Stuck in the Mud. So I want you to take a minute and I want you to look at the cover of the story, and I want you to gather as much information as you can about this book. Okay, so go ahead, start gathering information. Maybe tell a grown-up what you think. What do you predict might happen in this story? We're taking a preview. Okay, well, right in the title it says Stuck in the Mud, and I look down here and I see this sheep down here stuck in the mud. So I think what's going to happen is maybe the sheep gets stuck in the mud, and these people up here and this little dog notices. So I'm hoping and I'm predicting that they're going to go down and help this animal. So what I want you to do is read the story, and let's see if our prediction is right. We're going to read the text with our reading voice. Go ahead and start. The children went for a walk. It was a muddy walk. So we notice already that their boots are muddy, and so far they seem to be enjoying themselves though. They're smiling. Okay. Go ahead and read the next 2 pages. And I notice here that the boy is kind of putting his hand to his ear, so I think he might be hearing something. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read it. Make sure that you can read back with me. What a muddy path, said Biff. Bah, bah. What was that? Asked Chip. So again, yeah, my prediction was right. He kind of heard something. He hears some bah. All right, let's read the next 2 pages. All right, so if I am kind of looking too at the pictures and gathering as much information, I notice that the sheep is really close to this mud, and the people back here are still watching, and this must be Floppy. Bah, bah! What is that? Asked Wilma. It's a sheep, said Dad. Put Floppy on a lead. I wonder if you know what that word lead means. I know what it means to be like a leader, like a line leader, but a lead is kind of like a leash, is what they're talking about there. So I'm wondering, based on my prediction from the front cover, if the sheep is going to get stuck in the mud. Oh, and let's see. What do we notice? Okay. So, yeah, so the sheep is stuck in the mud. We gathered that information, and these people really look like they're walking quickly to maybe try to help that sheep. All right, let's go ahead and read. Oh no, said Chip. A sheep is stuck in the mud. The sheep couldn't get out. The mud was too deep. All right, so we did gather some of that information. The sheep couldn't get out. He was stuck in the mud. Now let's see if our prediction is right about them trying to help the sheep. Uh-oh, if I'm looking at these pictures, I notice something is happening. So the sheep looks kind of happy to get some help, but what's happening to Dad? Yeah, I think you're right. He is getting stuck too. Let's go ahead and read those next 2 pages. All right. So, yes, Dad went to help. So, we were right with that prediction. And he is sinking in the mud. Help me get it out, said Dad. Dad went to help the sheep. He sank into the mud. All right. So, if we take a look here, we notice that Dad is helping. And this, I believe, is Wilma and Chip, and they're trying to get this sheep out. But I don't know. It looks like they're kind of struggling from their faces. Let's see what happens. Go ahead and read it on your own. Wilma and Chip went to help. They sank into the mud. Now the sheep is stuck, Dad's stuck, Chip and Wilma are stuck. So let's make a prediction about what might happen next. What do you think? All right, well, let's see if let's confirm your prediction or see if you need to make an adjustment. Oh, it looks like they kind of got the sheep unstuck. Well, let's read on to see what did we notice? Dad lost his boot. His boot is now stuck in the mud. Let's go ahead and read. All right. Dad pushed. Wilma and Chip pulled. They got the sheep out. Bah, bah, went the sheep. Okay, so now let's take a look at the picture, try to make your prediction. So Dad's sock now is all muddy. We notice that his boot is stuck in the mud. What do we notice about Wilma? What is she trying to do? I think Wilma looks like she's about to try to get that boot out of the mud. And I don't notice if you noticed up here, but look, That sheep is sticking his tongue out at Floppy. That's kind of funny. Okay. Wilma and Chip were muddy. Dad had lost a boot. Wilma went to get Dad's boot. Okay, do you think, is she going to get it? What prediction do you make? Is she going to get the boot? Maybe she'll get stuck further. What do you think? Uh-oh. Let's read the last page. Read it on your own. Help, said Wilma. Now I'm stuck. All right. So did you make the prediction that she would get stuck? Did you make a prediction that she would rescue Dad's boot? All right. Well, boys and girls, so when we are reading, we can always make those predictions. We need to gather up as much information as we can before we start reading. And so I'm going to turn your attention right back to our chart one more time. So boys and girls, readers, question and predict. Before they start reading, you take a preview. You try to gather as much information before you start reading. And then you can think about our song. All right, let's go ahead and sing it together. Read, read, read the text, question while you go. Predict what will happen next. Read on so you'll know. And then, of course, we remember, we confirm. Oh, this way. We confirm our answer. Maybe we predicted what would happen, or maybe we weren't quite right, so we had to adjust our prediction based on what we read. All right, boys and girls. So this is a really important thing for you to try to do while you're reading. So what I'd like you to do now is maybe get a book and try this on your own. Look at the front cover, make your predictions, gather all the information you can about that story before you start reading. All right, nice listening today. Thank you.